Good morning. Yeah, I know. This is Charlie. I'm not Joe. Yeah, duh. Like, I don't know that. Joe took the day off. Apparently, the boss did any. All right, whatever. We got a guest host. I, I don't like that guy at all, but he's over there in the green room chilling his heels for him. I'll let him on in a minute. I'm supposed to read a few things to you first. This is supposed to be okay. Here, all right. I got it. I got it. You're watching the Road to Concord on Freedom Networks. It's Freedom Networks with an X because apparently somebody wanted you to think I spelled it, but it was just that the boss, Steve Nichols, wasn't fast enough. He couldn't get the Euro with a KS. Like, I graduated the 8th grade. I got me an education. I know how to write. It's supposed to be WOOKS or whatever, but ORKS. FreedomNetworks.com with an X. And we're simulcast on Twitch and Facebook. Twitch, you just look for Freedom Networks. Facebook, Freedom Networks, or Freedom with Steve Nichols. If he's on, he takes off a lot. Anyway. And then this show, The Road to Concord, you can get the podcasts on Podbean, like Jack and the Beanstalk. You just look for Road to Concord, but also on iHeart and Spotify. And you can email Joe if you feel like doing that. So I don't know why, but he makes me screen everything and send him the good stuff. It's Joe at the road to Concord.com. And then the phone number is 229-469-0335. And I'm supposed to put that idiot on here now and let him talk to you. I don't like that guy. He's another dude from Hydra. This is what that way. Anyway, I'm going to put him on now. If he gets to be too much trouble, you let me know. I'll come grab him by the scruff of his neck, throw him out of here. I don't mind. Be like whooping up on that idiot Aaron Spikes. It's no problem. You let me know. All right, I'll go get him now. Hold on. Is that far enough? Good morning, Monk. I mean, class. 'Tis me. What? You know Reske? Oh, I see. Problem is I in disguise. I got different camouflage on. You don't recognize me without my normal green shirt. It is me, Dr. Evil. Just a second. They left me with idiot in studio to run board. I got it. Yo, idiot! What? Hit button. When I say it's me, Dr. Evil, you hit button. All right, do it again. Hello, class. It is me, Dr. Evil. Very good. See? Not so hard, is it? Everybody loved Dr. Evil. The number's kind of small. We need more monkeys in classroom. Hey, we're all people at idiot. Not my fault if nobody wants to listen to you. That's your problem. Okay, well, I guess we get going now. Dr. Evil sent to tell you greatest story. What I tell you. See? I tell you. Idiot. Yeah, over there. Tell me I have to say, greatest conspiracy theory ever told. Like, people not going to recognize this as real story. Okay. Dr. Evil tell you greatest conspiracy theory ever told. I don't know which way. You look one way in this studio, camera say you look other way. It's backwards, kind of like story today. I'm here to correct great misunderstanding. Whole world knows story from the wrong side. I fix. So Hydra send me do this show today. And Hydra say stay on script. Like I some sort of ice cream eating idiot that play with hair and fund a little girl on camera and can't read teleprompter. Hydra send script today. See on script. I got to sit with you. It's craziness. Dr. Evil smart man know how to do this without no script. Anyhow, they tell you greatest conspiracy story ever told in history of mankind. How Hydra saved the world. Yes? No kidding. This is a story about how Hydra saved the world. Story goes like this. Once upon a time, yes, once upon a time, there's this evil liar. Now, he tell everybody that I am pre-existing one. I live outside of time. Blah, 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 blah. But like I told you, is evil liar, and he thinks he all powerful. So he create universe, everything in universe, create it all. Da, da, da. Whatever. He say universe great. Only he not so powerful. He say he all powerful, but he's not so powerful because he not make anything perfect like Hydra would. If Hydra good. If Hydra make universe, universe be perfect, no problem. Never have anything go wrong. But these liar, he evil. He tell you he perfect, he not perfect. He just make things good. He says, I make light, I make dark, it's good. He say, I make earth, is good. So not like perfect like Hydra make. He says, I make land, is good. I make ocean, is good. Make plant, bird, animal, all good. Then make garden, I put man in garden. Everything good, but not perfect. So see, not all powerful, not he liar. Not make everything perfect like he should. Anyhow, liar make monkey, put monkey in garden. And because not everything perfect, because liar not all that good. So I'm reading my notes, Hydra. Liar tell monkey, subdue earth. Earth's not perfect, I couldn't do it all. So you subdue earth. Okay. So monkey in garden trying to fix everything that liar didn't do. And no animal wants to help a monkey. Animal much smarter than monkey. So liar come down and say, where your helper, monkey? Monkey said, nobody want to work with me. So liar said, okay, I make you helper. I make girl monkey. Give me rip. Made girl monkey. Ha! Boy and girl monkey, dare in garden. Liar give them 2 trees. You see, liar evil. They say monkeys, I mean, these monkey, they're not very smart, right? So why you give them 2 trees, tempt them? They say, one tree good for fruit and eat it, give you all knowledge in the world. The other tree make you immortal. Poor monkey sit there and go, oh, tree. So this where Hydra step in. Hydra go to girl monkey. Why go girl monkey? Because she easiest to educate. She not as, she a little smarter than boy monkey. So Hydra tell girl monkey, say, see fruit on tree with all knowledge? Liar tell you that if you eat tree, you die. It's not true. You eat tree, you become smart as liar. You get to do better than him. You take over. You get to be maker of world because you know much as he does. And then Hydra tell you what you need to know that he doesn't know. So girl monkey say, yeah, okay, I got it. She eats from tree. Then she take fruit. Boy monkey. Boy monkey say, well, I don't think so. But this was easy. Girl monkey just go shake a, boom, boom. And boy monkey go, oh, yeah, I eat fruits. Because, a little girl monkey just, yeah. Boy monkey stupid. So he eat fruit too. See? Hydra is so much smarter than the liar who not make perfect world. Liar spend all this time and effort, make not perfect world and make boy and girl monkey and all this stuff, stupid monkey. Hydra come down, spoil liar's great plan with one little sentence to little stupid girl monkey. I mean, little better, smarter girl monkey. You see how easy this was? Spend all that time with liar. Hydra come down, say one little thing to girl monkey. Girl monkey come up to boy monkey, go, ha 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 ha, ha look at cute. And whole plan go crap. Hydra, free monkey from liar. Well, so liar, he has the temper tantrum. And he cursed creation. Well, maybe this where we find out that the liar not quite as bad as we think. Creation wasn't as bad before this happened. And it's possible that Hydra miscalculated just a little bit, because things used to work different before liar have temper tantrum, curse universe. So different rules back then. Things were easier to work with. But so maybe liar not quite as stupid as Hydra thought. So we have to be a little more careful with liar from now on. But no matter. So liar have temper tantrum, curse creation. Now creation not even good. So liar kick monkeys out of garden. Okay. The monkey's now free. See? Hydra still succeed, free monkeys. Hydra, good guy. Monkeys no longer under liars, slaves. They're no longer liars. Hydra, good organization, good people. The liar had put the monkeys in garden. It didn't look like garden, actually. Prison. Make monkey go fix world that liar couldn't fix. So you'll go make world better. See? Slave. Hydra come along. Free the monkeys. Everything great. Of course, world not as good as it used to be now. Oh, wait a minute. World was not good, was not perfect. You confuse me. You try confuse me, Dr. Evil. Catch on what you do. You know confuse Dr. Evil. Hydra give Dr. Evil notes. Dr. Evil just stick with notes. Dr. Evil be okay. So, now, there is a problem. Big problem. Okay, see, here what problem is. Monkey make cute little girl monkeys. Yeah, this big problem. Why this big problem? Because some of Hydra's best people look down there on world and see cute little girl monkeys and go, ah. How you say they is Twitter-pated. So Hydra people go down there and start playing boom boom with the girl monkey. There's 200 of Hydra's best people go down to this imperfect, not right planet anymore. Start make boom boom with girl monkey. This problem. So anyhow, but Hydra's still good. Hydra's still good organization, good people. So people go down there, go make boom boom with girl monkey. But they still teach monkeys. They teach them monkeys. They teach them how to defend themselves, make weapons, and fight bad guys. Make Meyer call it war. Say war bad, but no. Hydra teach you self-defense, make weapons, make good strong weapon, make monkeys safe. Hydra teach girl monkey how to be even prettier, put stuff on face, wear little gold things on arms and hands, go hacha hacha hacha. Don't wear big sack around body. Bring up hip, show a little fling fling, no, a little what? Yeah. Easier make more monkey. So Hydra teach witchcraft, teach monkeys how to talk to dead, and how to use drugs to expand their mind, even how to do horoscopes. So Hydra teach monkeys the hidden knowledge, and the monkeys start to believe liar is actually God, like he told them. So Hydra freeing monkeys' minds, educating them. Tree of Knowledge didn't teach them actually everything that there was to know. That was liar. The Tree of Knowledge was just knowledge, good and bad. In reverse order, Hydra has to fix this. Hydra has to come down, teach monkey what liars say good is actually bad, what liars say bad actually good. A lot of work for Hydra to do here. So, in fact, gets the point where monkeys don't believe God at all. This is good. Hydra free their mind. Their booties follow. See? Hydra win freedom for monkeys second time. Hail Hydra! Hail Hydra! You push button now! Idiot. No, when to push button. I smack idiot at break. You say. He'd be better when we come back. So, Hydra is still good. Teach monkeys about all these good things. Oof. Another problem. This time, real big problem. Apparently make boom boom between Hydra good guys and monkey girls make ugly giant babies. Yes, the ugly babies. And giant babies very difficult to control, even for Hydra. They're too big. So they run around and they do bad things to monkeys. So they make war in bad ways. So now monkeys need what Hydra teach them to defend themselves from giant babies. And then the Hydra has to show monkeys how to start making new types and crossbreeds and stuff like man cow and man goat to help fight against, giant. It's just better than what man was. The liar didn't make man perfect. Hydra show him how to make them better, but giants get out of control. You make boom boom with a cute little girl monkey. You make big ugly baby giant. He start eating people, and things get really bad because liar monkey corrupts good Hydra seed. It's all the liar monkey's fault. All of this. It's not like Hydra's creating any trouble. Hydra trying to fix all this. Hydra control the monkeys. We's not all, but we never claim to be perfect. That's liar's claim. We just claim to be better than him. So Hydra lose all control. No order anywhere on whole planet. We're sitting there, we're having big meeting up in space. They say, what are we gonna do with this? Monkeys make stupid babies. It's not our problem. Our people, good people, go down there and make boom boom with little girl monkey, make big bad big baby problem. It's a girl monkey problem. That's fault. So this is when Liar shows up, floods whole planet. Except kills everybody, everything except for these 8 monkeys that escape on big boat. This not a good thing because these flood it changed world again, second time. World not work the same way again. Is at first is just very good, and then it's not good at all, and now it's screw up. Every time I just fix things, Liar come back down and make problem. So flood come erase all evidence of Hydra's good work. This is exhausting. So here we go, bury underwater in mud. Yeah. And you know what would make worse? Evil man grab up all of Hydra's good people, go down there, make boom boom with monkeys, little girl monkeys, and puts them in jail. Put them in a pit, trap them down there with parts of spirit of all the the baby monkey, the giant ugly baby monkey things. So these monkeys get away on the boat. I told you this is epic story, very long. But I tell you how story really go. You've been told lie. Hydra here, correct, lie. Show you how really work, how really went. How I know? Yeah, I was there. Yes, yes, yes. Idiot, push wrong button. Push right button, idiot. Hold button longer, idiot. Okay, see, I was there. Okay, we keep going now. So monkeys leave boat. The monkeys still, they don't remember what Hydra teach them, so monkeys start doing boom boom again, only this time with mother. Create little bastard monkey. And more giants born. Where'd they come from? Because we don't got Hydra people on ground there making boom boom with girl monkey. So I don't know. Anyhow, monkeys start build big pyramid, want to get to sky. Monkeys remember Hydra. Yes, monkeys want to get up there with Hydra, want to be like Hydra. So monkeys start to want to be good like Hydra. They build big mountain. Yep. Liar shows back up again. Every time things going good, Liar show up. He go down there and he look at the monkeys, see what they do, and he's trying to be like Hydra. So he mess up language. Monkeys don't understand each other no more. They say ooh, the other one go oh. Yeah, it used to be perfect, so monkeys don't understand each other. But unfortunately, monkeys start wander around planet. But they take story with them. They take story of flood and they take story of dragon and things like this with them. This is why you find story in every little tribe of monkey all over the world. Monkey everywhere. I mean, there's an infestation of planet that's not so good anymore. This cursed, messed up planet underwater. Monkey everywhere. Monkey no speak same language. No monkey no cooperate. Monkey make war. Just like big giant baby. So monkey scatter across globe. And the liar, he make plot. The liar, he show, I got to read script where Hydra come and shock me and it goes. So liar, he say, okay, now I'm going to put my minions in charge of these little group monkeys. And we're going to call them nations. And I puts my people in charge of nations. This is what liars say. So they're the minions. Okay. So Hydra sees opportunity. We're going to do things different this time. So he appoints Hydra appoints special person named Gru. Hydra, supreme special person named Gru to go convince Liar's minions to defect to Hydra, follow Gru. So Gru teaches these minions to teach the monkeys that they are gods. They're like Liar. So all these minions running around teaching each little tribe of monkeys that called nations, teach them that the minions is gods. So they don't follow this liar god anymore. And all the time behind it is Gru. Gru. He is true brainiac behind the plan. So all monkeys start worshiping different gods, thinking that they're worshiping right God, and they don't realize they're actually just worshiping minions who work for Gru, and Gru work for Hydra. Hydra free monkeys again. Hail Hydra! Hit button! Yes, yes, yes. Hydra free monkeys again. No longer think about Liar being God. So minions start teaching monkeys to worship Hydra leaders as Hydra minions as gods, and that's free monkeys. All that type of stuff. Okay, so then every time Hydra do good work, Liar show up. This time Liar appoint big monkey named Abram. He tell monkey, he said, you go make new nation. So you leave Hydra nation. See, Abram's stupid now. He been confused by monkey again. So Abram defect. And a Liar promised Abram he gonna do better than Hydra. And he go make new nation, and new nation go save whole world. So this nation starts to teach all other nations that Gru and Hydra bad. Can you imagine that? Gru and Hydra bad? No. Hydra, good guy in this story. Epic conspiracy theory, wink, wink, ever told. Hydra is good guy. You see how every time Liar do bad thing, Hydra fix and free the monkey. Everything get good for the monkey. I show you. It get clear in the end of story. But anyhow, this Abraham guy, he started teaching people that the Liar's the good guy, the monkey. He teach people did not listen Hydra. So Hydra caused drought on whole world. This is to punish other monkey for listening to this Abram guy. But the monkeys, they flee to one of Hydra's strongholds. They go to a place called Mizraim, I think his name, or Mizraim or something like that. It's foreign language. I don't know. Old language. I was there. I forget the language long time ago. But Abraham monkey nation flee to this place. But Liar now realized that we in control there. So we make new nation into slave. Yes, just like Liar did it for his partner in garden. We teach slave monkey make brick. 400 years. 400 years Hydra plan work. So monkey make brick. But then Liar sends this monkey with a magic stick and a dumb mouth. Monkey can't talk like this idiot over here pushing button. Yeah, talk like this. Yeah, send dumb man with magic stick. And he go to leader of Hydra Mizraim place, and he used stick make magic works and scare Hydra leader. Minion go ee, and Hydra tried to tell Minion it's gonna be okay, but nope. No, Minion let the monkey get away, and they all flee into desert. Take a lot of Hydra people with them. Not just New Nation. There's a bunch of them, millions of them now. So they're all, yes, I see people leaving. Like Dr. Evil's story? It gets better in the end. The numbers go down. Gonna get punished if numbers go way too down. Hydra leader goes after monkeys. Easy to find monkeys. Because the monkey's so stupid, Liar have to give them this big pillar smoke in the day and big pillar fire at night to follow. Otherwise, monkeys lose their way. Look, we have Hydra in the house. See? He said, literally just watch Ancient Astronaut. This is not theory guy. This real guy. This Hydra minion. Explain how Satan, that's Gru. That's Gru. Satan, your name Gru, is the good guy trying to free the people and show them how God make fire remain made. Yes, this Gru. See? I tell you truth. So anyhow, Minion from Mizraim goes out catch monkey, but then they trap him up against the sea, but Liars show up again, give them escape route. Minion tried to follow, get caught in ocean, everybody drown. Is bad tragedy. Bunch of Hydra people drown by Liar. So Hydra tell everybody in the world never happened. It's all just myth. Until some idiot working for Liar come along and find evidence of drowned Hydra army on bottom of seas. We try hard to free you, you stupid monkey. I mean, class. Anyhow, Liar starts talking to dumb guy with magic stick on mountain. This when Hydra show up and convince Monkey, look, man, you got to go back to Hydra people. Make a gold cow. That Hydra god, that grew. You call Baal, whatever. Lots of names, same person. So Monkey make gold cow, and they so happy, they dancing and singing and praising Hydra for showing them make gold cow. And then Liar sees this and he gets panties in wad and he's jealous of Hydra, so he goes down there, kills a bunch of his stupid monkeys. See, I told you, you're not perfect. So dumb guy talk like this, got magic stick. He fool Liar and convince Liar not to kill all the monkeys. So, but evil Liar make monkeys travel around in desert for 40 years. And then, we try to tell people all this lie, but unfortunately, as today, monkeys dig up desert and find evidence of everything I tell you. But luckily they believe Hydra's story. Anyhow, finally Liar tells monkeys, you go steal Hydra land. He says, I give you no homeland, you go steal from Hydra. Tells monkeys not to listen to Hydra people when steal land. No copy Hydra ways. Liar he know Hydra has better ways, better peoples, better gods. So he keep lying to his monkeys, tell them, you don't follow Hydra ways, I get you in trouble. So this Liar keeps monkeys steal Hydra land, but the monkeys, they lazy, they don't listen, they don't take all land like told to do. So this leaves some of Hydra's leaders in place, and some of Hydra's good influences still there. Monkeys lazy, so they stop. And this is where Hydra see where use Liar's stupidity against him. I show you. You learn here. Hold on. So then monkeys have same problem Hydra had earlier. You remember when Hydra people see little girl monkeys go mwah? Well, Hydra people in land that was stolen, they make cute little girl monkeys too. And so Liar's monkeys look at Hydra's cute little girl monkeys and go mwah, and start marrying girl monkey, make boom boom. So why they making boom boom? Hydra girl monkeys go, no, you shouldn't be following Liar. You should be doing it the same way Hydra taught us to do it. They said that Liar, he tell you that you follow our ways and things go bad for you. It's not true, his lie. Guru tell us is lie. So you need to follow Hydra ways. So lots of the monkeys for the Liar start doing what Liar tell them not to do. They start following Gru ways, the Hydra ways, because girl monkey go boom boom, yeah, it's wink wink wink, haba haba. Hail Hydra! Monkeys are free again! You hit button! Yeah, I teach idiot how to do right. Yes, Hydra win again. So back and forth, Liar, Hydra, Liar, Hydra, Liar. Go on for a long time. Epic struggle, I tell you. Epic struggle. Part of story. So go on for 100 years until Liar get all panties in water again, and he throws monkeys away. He said, no more monkeys for me. And then, he changed mind. And he said, wait a minute. I want some of my monkeys back. Well, he had made 2 groups of monkeys now. This is where things start to get complicated, man. He made 2 tribes of monkeys. One tribe is visible. He steals back into Hydra land, and he steals. He says, you come back away from Gru. Other tribe is lost in nations. Other tribe is hanging around with Gru's people. They having a good time. They happy honky dory. It's a good party. So we've got 2 tribes of monkeys. Then Liar, he sends superhero monkey. This is biggest problem Hydra ever faced. This is where epic story get good. So superhero monkey, he show up, and he start telling monkeys, there's new way go. Liar, he is actually true God. If you believe in him, you follow him, you do what he'd say, you trust him, you get eternal life. Hydra, we can't have this because monkeys start believing this superhero Liar. So Hydra get a hold of him and nail him to a tree, and he'd die. So we stop Liar again. Big problem. Superhero pop back up to life. They're like cockroach, man. You can't kill him. You just keep coming back up. So we tell all the monkey, no, that's not what happened. Superhero dead, but his friend still body. So this story that most people believe now, that or we convince them that superhero never exists. But the problem is his superhero pop back to life and he starts spreading out throughout. Oh, and he lock up more of Hydra's best men. He even lock up Gru. So all of Hydra's people now in the pit, chained and locked away. And this superhero who'll come back, he starts spreading throughout the world these lies. You follow me, you follow my father, the liar, and you get eternal life. And lots of monkeys start falling for this. They believe this. So monkeys easy to fool. The visible nation, easy to see. We can make monkeys hate visible nation, but invisible nation, that's in partying around with Gru's other nation people, they start believing this liar. They start worshiping the liar. So this Hydra's best agents in pit. So we send what left of Hydra, and we start telling monkeys, no, not that way. You got to go back to a way that Hydra did it when you stole Hydra land. You can still pretend to worship that guy, but do it our way. And the liar tells them that this is not going to work. If you do it Hydra way, then promise not work. But these monkeys give themselves over to liar for promise of immortality. Become slave of liar again. All Hydra's good work down drain. So this where Hydra have to infiltrate hidden nation. Start teaching monkeys to follow superhero in wrong way. This will free monkey's mind again, so monkey's booty get freed. So monkey's stupid. They keep Hydra, do what Hydra tell them. So this great nation plan is apostasy. This is what the liar calls it. He calls it apostasy. He tells monkeys, if you apostate, you're not going to get eternal life. So then after many, these were stories start to get good. Pay attention. All you people's believing. It's not very smart. This was story get good. So after many years, Hydra managed to free captives from pit. Gru is back with all his great minions. And even Hydra great leaders, 200 great leaders that come down, make boom boom with little girl, make all these big ugly giant babies. All of them free. 20 million of them free from pit. Come up. They burst forth onto the world and set out to fool all of the nations again. I mean, correct. All that to properly educate. Why did I say fool? No. Correct liars' lies. Teach nations the right way to go. So the monkeys start breaking free from liar again, start following Hydra. So this is what happened. Hydra come, teach monkeys about how to make them free. See, make free love. Because love, well, this one place where liar right. Free love is biggest thing in world. So you make free love. You good looking little girl monkey, you just be bopping down the street, you're listening to some tunes, boy monkey come up and say, me want some free love. You go, yeah, baby, take me. They some free love. This is make for the great world. So I had to teach girl monkey, just be free love. Teach boy monkey, you go. No need to get married, love free now. Babies not people. These babies just burden. You get rid of babies, no problem. Drug will help you with all of this. Drug will make you feel much better, make boom boom greater. Free mind, you see things. Yes. And then make improvements again. Girl monkey can become boy monkey can become girl monkey, and boy and girl monkey can become cute little furry animal. This is whatever you want to do. It's just like when monkeys tried to teach them make goat man, cow man. Same thing, because you saw Hydra people back to teach monkeys best way to be. So monkeys, they start listening to Hydra, and Hydra teach them, just flaunt it, show your pride that you're free from liars' ways. So they strut down Main Street, show everybody Hydra teaches best ways to go. Hydra tell monkeys to demand free stuff. If he's so great, make things free. Tell liar, give them more power. Hydra teach monkeys about science. Monkeys finally see liar for true self. Is not God. Is just lie, is myth. Hydra real. No, Gru is real, and all Gru, minions and great people who come down from Hydra, make boom boom grow monkey, they're real. And so Hydra people start teaching monkeys, follow. They teach monkeys. Monkeys defective. Liar didn't make monkeys perfect. So here's a thing called DNA. Science help you with this. You can perfect men. You can make men perfect, because you have tree of all knowledge, and Hydra fill in the things that weren't in that tree. So now you can go make yourself perfect, little monkey. And this is what Hydra set out to do, teach monkeys how to make monkeys better. And this where we now are. This where we is in history. We culture all the way up to today. Liar is exposed, monkey reject him, just like before flood when nobody believed in any god. Monkey free. Hydra free monkey again. Listen to Hydra. Leaders again. The monkeys listen to us again. All is perfect because Hydra is good. Hydra perfect. Hydra free monkeys. Idiot. Hail Hydra. So, in fact, things going so well, monkeys are doing Hydra work now without any prompting. Altered DNA. They're working to kill off useless eaters. What? No, can't say that. No. They're working to help free the soul of people who just have miserable life. There. I corrected that for you, Hydra. You put wrong words in notes. Try to make Dr. Evil look bad so you can punish me after show. Say, monkeys now champion best students of Hydra. Say, they's scholar, very intelligent. They's no more than us. So monkeys even ready to surrender to Hydra now. The Hydra says, well, now this is cool. Finally, monkeys understand. So monkeys think they are good and are better than Liar and even better than Hydra. But Hydra have monkeys right where we want them. Monkeys willing to be slaves of Hydra. So now Hydra tell monkeys how to live. We control everything they do. They invented the means for us too. Well, we tell them how to do it. They do it. They just, do. And Hydra tell them what to do through here. There's a movie about this. We even tell you. I forget what they call it, they or them or something about if put on special glasses, you see Hydra people running around. Take off glasses, you don't see Hydra anymore. It's all in movie. But anyhow, Hydra tell monkey how to live, control everything. Hydra use monkey to show Liar what a real all-powerful looks like. Hail Hydra! So they finally victory is at hand. For the all-time epic struggle of greatest struggle in all of Earth, Hydra about to win. Liar do nothing about it. He can't. He's not perfect like he claims he is. Jesus story. Hail Hydra! Hail Hydra! Hail Hydra! Story time is over. His greatest story about him. His greatest conspiracy story in all of history. But look what could make happen. I say, look, he's alien. Because monkeys make little drawings on rock. Look like alien. So you come now, you see things from a long time ago. You say, see, alien. Okay, that works for Hydra. Or you dig up bone from animal. You say, look, it's 50 million years old. It's not 50 million years old, but because Earth changed 2 times and no monkeys are left alive to know the changes, Hydra don't know when the changes were made. Remember, Earth was just very good. Not perfect, just very good. Then he went to not so good. Then he went to totally crap. Because Liar just kept throwing temper tantrums. So you look back in time, you think everything was always like is today. No. Hydra tell you better than that. But the monkeys, they look at bone. They say bone million years old. They come up with a whole new story. Hydra didn't even tell them that story. Monkeys easy to fool. Monkeys fool themselves. So. What do we have here in class? He says, I'm one of those self-thinking monkeys, and I think I still trust the one true God and do my best to live in a manner pleasing to him. So very good, Mr. Spikes. You worship Gru. See? Monkey's easy to train. He would say he worshiped Gru. What? 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 Oh, crap. Sorry, guys. Charlie told me things were going off the rail, and I had to come back to work. Thought I was going to take off. Had to get rid of Dr. Evil there. Wasn't his best story, was it? Kind of like we've heard that before. It's just from the other end of the spectrum, I guess. I've noticed that, and this is kind of cool to me, we had like 30-something people watching us on Rumble yesterday. Now we're down to 6. Well, I'm assuming that the people on Rumble understand the true version of that story, and they just weren't interested. I was boring them today. But now, yesterday, we never really got over 11 watching us on Facebook and Twitch combined. And today, there's like 9 or 10 of you watching, or 8 now. But so the numbers on Facebook and Twitch are higher than the numbers on Rumble. And that may not mean anything to you, but to me, it tells me that God's people aren't interested in my stupid story about how the devil thinks he's in charge of everything and that he's the truth. And the world's people are. It's not like that'll teach me anything. So here I am with an hour and 15 minutes to kill and absolutely no plan to do it. I don't do off the cuff well. I get myself in trouble when I go that way, but here we go. Coffee and donut time. What should we talk about? Well, there's this little thing down in the corner of your chalkboard, the screen. It says 229-469-0335. And apparently, if you get your little idiot machine out and you punch those numbers into the idiot machine and you hit the little green circle thing there, that'll connect you to me. And then we can talk about whatever it is that's going on in your life or world or whatever. I think they call that a phone call. Anyhow, you can also comment in the comment section. I know I bored the crap out of you with that one, but it was just, I can't be serious all the time. Every now and then we got to do something stupid, lighthearted, easy. This is going to be a bad day. I really have nothing else to talk about. I was very happy with yesterday's show. Got good feedback with that. I know it wasn't a show that... Uh-oh. We have phone call. Let's see who is on phone. Mr. Gutnick, was ist los mit du, diese heute?
Oh, es ist gut. Dr. Evil.
Ja.
I missed you.
I hear. What's up?
Yeah.
All right. How can I help
Sieg
you?
Heil.
Sieg Heil. Yeah. Heil Hydra. What's up, Rick?
Oh, my. Well, I thought you were going to keep going.
No.
You didn't finish the story.
You mean about what happened in future? No,
Yes.
no. Can't tell people that.
Story.
Can't tell people this. If you tell people what's coming in future, then they realize Hydra full of crap. These cannot be allowed. Cannot let people know Hydra full of crap. No, cannot do this, Mr. Ray. No, not allowed.
Okay, so all right, here's your rest of your show.
Okay.
You need to teach us about evolution.
Oh, the theory of evolution or the real evolution?
No. The truth. It's not a theory. It's true. It's taught in all our schools. It's taught everywhere. It goes right along with climate change and everything. It's the truth.
Yes, climate has been changing.
Put Dr. Evil back.
Climate has been changing ever climate change ever since the liars show up first. The water come up out of ground, then water come from down on top of Earth, and first things warm, now things cold. I mean, yeah, climate been changing ever since the liar got all temper tantrum. I don't know why.
That's right. That's right. So,
yeah, we can address evolution. That's not a problem. That's a conspiracy theory. That's actually a good one for today.
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right. Thanks, Rick. We'll
Give
do
me
that.
Something to work on for a little while on your show if you're not just treading water.
I don't care if I tread water or not today. I just had to come fill airtime today.
Okay.
All right, we'll talk. Let me go for that. We'll chase that rabbit. Here we go. All right, so evolution. The theory of evolution is that somehow, we don't know how, in this primordial pit of ooze, poof, we get life. Don't ask me. That's never explained, which is a fallacy to begin with. But anyhow, so life shows up. We got this amoeba floating around in a pool of whatever. So apparently the very first amoeba must have been asexual. Reproduces all on its own. Just divides in the middle, make 2 amoebas. Over a long period of time, for reasons that are never explained, the amoeba becomes a multi-celled organism. So now I got 2-celled amoebas running around that still divide themselves asexually. Somehow or another, this 2-celled amoeba eventually turns itself into some other little creature
little itty bitty tiny creatures. And over a process of time, that creature turns itself into a bigger creature, turns itself into a bigger creature. In other words, information is added, organization increases. All of this is sweeping water uphill. What do I mean by that? It goes against every other law that we know of physics in the universe. You're adding information from nowhere. You're giving me no mechanic for how it gets there or anything like that. So this amoeba keeps changing into these other little beings over time through what's called natural selection. What are we talking about? Well, apparently there are mutations. The amoeba grows a third cell someday for some weird reason. And just because of that third cell, lo and behold, the amoeba does better. So from now on, all amoebas are three-celled amoebas. Problem number one, that is not the way DNA must work. Well, it's actually problem number two. Let's go to problem number one. In order for life to exist, you have to have RNA and DNA. Life as we know and understand it, life as is on this planet. So RNA and DNA, these are protein strings. They cannot exist outside of the cell membrane. It requires the body of the cell to keep them alive for any period of time, meaning alive long enough, functioning and intact long enough to be able to tell other things around them how to create a cell. So it's kind of like saying, I have a decaying computer program that the only way to save it is I got to put it inside of a CPU, a computer. Problem is, I need the program to have the CPU. You need to have RNA and DNA to have a cell. We've got a chicken and the egg problem that cannot be resolved. That's problem number one. Problem number two is, if life is going to exist, every time a cell divides or whatever goes on, DNA must replicate itself identically. So if I have a mutation and I end up with a three-celled amoeba instead of a two or a one, and that amoeba divides again, DNA should make it go back to being a one or two-celled amoeba instead of a three. In other words, that birth defect should not become something that evolves into a different creature. If that is the way that biology naturally worked, then you and I would devolve into a mass of cancer cells and we would die. Because when the cells in our arms started to divide, they would mutate. And then those would mutate mutations, and those would mutate mutations, which is all cancer is. It's a runaway mutation of a cell that's no longer doing the job it was designed to do in the body. It's just a massive, it replaces all the cells that are working correctly. So the whole theory of of evolution and natural process and selection goes against the logic, and it goes against the laws of physics as we know them. But somehow or another, we're supposed to believe that this is how all things in the world evolve. So math comes along. So philosophy's already said this doesn't work. Biology has already said the theory of evolution doesn't work. Mathematics comes along and says, if it works, it's going to take a lot more time than we've actually had on this planet. In fact, the universe isn't old enough for mankind to be here. And you can go look up the math on this. They go over how long a period of time it should take for all these things to just happen. That's using math that I've never paid attention to. It's higher than my level of interest, not ability, interest. I could care less. So math, biology, and logic all say the theory of evolution has failed. Well, then the man who invents this theory, who also talks about it in racial terms, skin color race terms, he says that if you cannot find in the historic fossil records the intermediary, you know, fossil records, then this is going to disprove his theory. And we've never found those intermediary, the skeleton that takes you from the rabbit to the jackalope. There's got to be one in between somewhere. We've never found that. What we always, like there's all sorts of forms of hominids. Look, they must somehow, the picture of the man evolving. That's just an assumption. Now, when we look at it, we say, well, their DNA wasn't close enough. They were actually different species and blah, 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 blah. And the more we think we've learned and understand, the more and more we actually destroy the theory of evolution. So let me tell you a little idea or a little think piece on how you should be thinking about this. The cell that first pops into existence in that primordial pool of ooze, I'm going to tell you a dumbed down version of what it would be like. You are trampling through, just bebopping through virgin rainforest. No human being has ever in the history of the world traveled through this little piece of the rainforest. You're the first one ever. And boom, right there in front of you is a functioning laptop that just poofed into existence. And by functioning, I mean it is a perfectly constructed laptop. It's got an operating system, MS-DOS, whatever, Windows. It's got an operating system installed and it's working. And there's a power source that runs it, that just draws power from the air, just whatever, absorbs power from the air. Perfectly working laptop right there. Everything that you're going to need to get online on the internet, just sitting there, just popped into existence right in front of on that trail you're bebopping down in the rainforest where no human being has ever lived before. Are you going to believe that that just happened naturally? Are you really? You know darn well you're not going to believe that. You're going to start looking around for, where's the person that left this here? I thought I was the only one to ever come through this part of the rainforest. Now here's the problem. That laptop, as complicated as it is child's play compared to the complication of a single cell. Now, you don't believe that the laptop just pooped into existence, so why do you believe the cell just popped into existence? Say, well, Joe, the laptop's, that's just not the same thing as natural process. Okay, fine. Here's what's going to happen next. I'm going to take every piece of that laptop. I'm going to put it in a bag. Individual pieces. I'm going to take that laptop entirely apart. And the solder, we're not going to give you little drops of solder. We're just going to give you one little block of silver. You know, silver solder. It's just one little bit block. We're not going to even put it into a line so you can use it. So I'm going to take the raw material of that. I'm not even going to give you the pieces that have already been formed. You're going to get so much gasoline, oil for the plastic and aluminum for this and metal. And I'm going to put them in a bag and you're going to start shaking it. How long do you have to shake that bag before all those raw material, lumps of individual elements, turns into a functioning laptop? And I got another question for you. Where is the computer program going to come from? Because this is apples to apples explanation of what happens in that primordial ooze with all the little parts necessary to make my cell. They're all in that little ooze pit. All I got to do is zap it with lightning and it comes to life. I got a cell. That's literally the explanation of how life began right now at this point in time. So I've given you all these ingredients to make a laptop. Put them in a bag, and I'll even hit it with lightning for you. Zap! Do you have a laptop? No. How many times are you going to have to do that? A heck of a lot. In fact, it's never going to happen. Just like they'll tell you, if I put enough monkeys on a typewriter, sooner or later, they will type one of William Shakespeare's sonnets. No, they will not. I know in theory it'll happen, but there's a lot of things that work in theory. That's because you dream it up. Every fictional novel you have ever read is a theory of a future or past that never existed and never will. Didn't look at it that way, did you? So this is what you have with evolution. You have a theory that cannot be, which leaves you with one other option: creation. So we pull out old Occam's razor. We make everything equal. I got all my material in a bag, and I got the idea of all my material in the primordial ooze. The bag never turns into a cell. The primordial ooze can never turn into a cell. Or there's a creating being, a being who created all this and just said, poof, let it be. Now, which one's the easier explanation? Not the easiest to accept, the easiest one that explains everything. Which is the easiest, simplest answer? Creation is. Ergo, Occam's razor tells you evolution is a ha-ha. Creation is the way it happened. Dang, Occam is a mother when you know the whole part. Well, the easiest explanation is always correct. All things being equalized, the easiest explanation is the preferred one. That's Occam's razor. We covered that show one time, remember? Wasn't quite what a lot of us thought it was, because we actually read it straight from Occam. Mistake we're not supposed to do. Go right to the horse's mouth. Okie dokie pokey. Let's do our break, come back. I'll try to have something else to talk to you about in a minute. We will make a salvage out of the next hour. Okay, so evolution. It's a neat theory. And it's all it is a theory. And if you examine it, I mean, you really look at it, you start taking it apart. You've been taught your whole life to accept it as it's just what is, right? And it's not taught as a theory anymore. Evolution is now taught as fact in schools. It's not a fact. It isn't. It is a theory. It has always been a theory. It'll always be a theory. You're not going to prove it ever. But we're teaching people that this is the truth, so much to the point that people just naturally accept it as a truth. This falls under Hitler. What? Yeah, Hitler said it's the big lie. If I tell a big enough lie, loud enough, long enough, people start to believe it. It becomes what is. So if I pile a series of these lies on society, lie after lie after lie, climate change is another one of those. The idea that man's causing the climate change, or that we can stop it, or we can engineer the environment. Let me ask you, have you ever thought hard about climate change? Since we've been doing evolution, let's jump to climate change and we'll circle back. So climate change. What is the temperature of the Earth supposed to be? You don't know, do you? Neither do they. You know, the proverbial they, the experts. They don't know what it's supposed to be either. Now, we did not exist in the distant past before man started taking temperature readings. We have no records of things from, before, BC, before the Common Era, before Christ in my book, but whatever you want to call it, BCE. We have no temperature records back then. What we do for that is we take ice cores and we look at tree rings and things like that, and we extrapolate. Big word. It means we know how it works today. Assuming everything worked the same way back then this is what the ice core and the tree ring means. Notice what I just stressed, assuming. That is not something you can do in science. You don't get to assume. See, when we covered science earlier this week, right there, you have a degree of uncertainty in your equation. So everything from that point forward is uncertain because you guessed. Now, it might be a good guess, a valid guess, a real guess that you should, put a little trust in. Yes, Goebbels 2.0, Aaron, very good. Mr. Ford says, I'm not going to prove that there is a God. We already did that, Mr. Ford, and we used deductive logic to get there. Not only did we prove there's a God, we proved that the God that exists is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You might want to go back and look that show up, Mr. Ford. That argument, to the best of my knowledge, has never been broken by anybody anywhere. So, we're looking at climate change. We do not know what the temperature of the Earth is supposed to be, but we do know through extrapolation, based on our assumptions, that in past, the Earth was a lot warmer and a lot colder. We call certain parts of that the Ice Age. Now, we do have recorded history of the mini Ice Age. We don't know how cold it got, but we do know that it covered a good part of the globe with a lot of snow and ice for a lot longer than it should have. We have records of that. What was it, back in the 1100s? Lasted for a couple hundred years. It was a cycle. This was pre-industrial age. So what caused that? We don't know. We got lots of guesses, theories, but we don't know. And we have recordings of that. So go back even further. We think that the time of what we call dinosaurs, when we had these little dragonflies running around with 6-foot wingspans, we found their carcasses in the rocks. Fossils as you think about them. Do you know how an insect breathes? It breathes through its skin. It doesn't have lungs. It absorbs oxygen directly. Well, there's a problem with that. In order for a 6-foot dragonfly to exist, there must be a lot more oxygen in the atmosphere than currently is. The percentage, the ratios of oxygen in the atmosphere must be much higher than it is now. So what happened to it? Where did it go? How did that change happen? From a point in the world where a dragonfly with a 6-foot wingspan could live to now? We don't know. Oh, it was the meteor. When I was growing up, it was the Ice Age that killed off the dinosaurs. Now it's a meteor. We don't know. We guess. And then everything in our world is built upon a guess. Say, I guess things worked back then the same way they do now, even though I know that the oxygen had to be a lot more, which means it didn't work the same way back then that it does now, but I'm going to assume it does. You see, now you got to guess on a guess when you know opposite of what you're guessing. Now you're forcing a lie over top of something that you know. In other words, you've got enough uncertainty in your theory now for a rational person to toss it out the window. So why do you cling to it? Because you need explanations that you are willing to accept. So you cling to a lie. Well, Joe, you don't know that. Yes, I do. I just explained to you how I know it's a lie. I'm going to assume that in this Cretaceous whatever period, when I got 6-foot wingspan dragonflies, that means that I've got to have an oxygen level of something, I think, if I remember right, 70, 80% in the atmosphere. Something that would kill you and I. Yes, it would. You didn't know that, did you? You would not survive. You wouldn't last well. You wouldn't do well in that environment. Let's just put it that way. So I'm assuming that everything else works the same way in this environment. The only thing that's different is the oxygen levels. Oh, wait a minute. We also know that the temperature was a lot higher throughout the whole globe. Antarctica was tropical. Well, that must have been before the Antarctica just migrated down there, Joe. Well, you don't have enough time for it to have gotten there, guys. Not between that period that you think exists and where it is now and all these other good things. So I've got a guess upon 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 something that I forced on there in contradiction to what I know has to be true. And then I expect you to believe the story I come up with based on all of this. No. No. I say no. Why? Because I know that that can't be right. Based on the very theory you give me, I know it cannot be right. I reject it. Well, you got to have an explanation, Joe. What are you going to come up with? The Bible's very good. Never been proven wrong so far. Why can't I keep it? Well, Joe, that's just got to be a myth. Why? Test it. Test it. Okay, fine. Let's test it. We got all these different gods in history. We can look at archaeology. We know they got all these different gods. Yeah, the Bible tells you there were different gods too. So, myth? No. The Bible tells you what they are. You don't want to listen to that. Why? Because I'm not in control of that? Let's get away from Worship Wednesday. We're not going to go there too deep. I won't hit on that. I know. Make everybody tune out. Nobody wants to listen to this. And for just a quick aside, quick rabbit, I now know why I did today's show the way I did, why I started it out. You may not like it, but it's teaching me a heck of a lot right now looking at the numbers who are watching me. It's teaching me my audience. So it's training me. I'm not going to share with you what I've learned, but the beginning of today's show was very educational for me. I'll remember this lesson. So we're going to jump back here. Climate change. I don't know what temperature the Earth is supposed to be. I don't know what it used to be. I don't know what it is now. I don't know whether or not we're in a heating or a cooling period. I only know how to guess based on the assumptions that the past is like today, even though I know the past couldn't be like today. It was hotter, more oxygen, a whole bunch of different things. So why do I make the claim that the climate's changing? Climate has always changed. See, now that's another thing right there. Global warming and global cooling are not the same thing as climate change. Okay, man's causing it. Yeah, man caused the hole in the ozone too, except for the fact that it was the volcano in the Antarctic that erupts every day, and that's where the hole was that they were measuring, and every time it erupted, the hole got bigger, and every time it was not as active every day, the hole got smaller. It's just amazing how that happened to coincide with DuPont's need to get a patent for a new coolant so that it could keep its money. It's amazing how that works. So all the people that were anti-corp, corps are running the world, corporations evil. Oh, wait a minute. Oh my God, the hole in the ozone. See, told you corporations were evil. No, you had it right. Corporations bad. Cause and effect wrong. Hole in the ozone had nothing to do with chlorofluorocarbons like you were told. It had everything to do with a volcano. And with the corporation exploiting it so that it could get you to do away with, by law, Freon globally. So it protected itself from competitors while it made a market for its new coolant that now this one's okay because it doesn't destroy the ozone. And then miraculously, the ozone goes away. That problem is just poof, gone. And nobody sees the cause and effect. I do. Same thing with CFLs, another corporation. It was all just a hokey pokey. That's all climate change is. It's a hokey pokey. Because, it used to be when I was going to school, we should have been in an ice age right now. What? Yes, we should be in an ice age. We should all be dead from that. But that's not what happened. It started to warm. Oh my God, man's causing global warming. That's what it was in the 90s, 80s and 90s. 70s, ice age, 80s, 90s, global warming. Then the temperature started going back down again. It's almost like there's a cycle here. It's almost like it's a 12-year cycle. So Joe, being stupid like he is, looks at the universe, the solar system anyway, and goes, where do I find an 11 to 12 year? Oh, the solar cycle. What? The soul. S-O-L, sun. Sun goes through an 11 to 12 year cycle. It gets hotter and cooler. And it happens to correspond with the warming cooling of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. We have a phone call. Good morning, Mr. Zinker. How can we help you today?
See, you call me by wrong name.
Yeah.
You must misread. You must misread monitor. Not surprising for me. Not surprising. I wish to voice comment.
You don't sound a lot like Dr. Evil. You sound like maybe Dr. Evil's Native American buddy.
No, I am not Dr. Evil, but I call about Dr. Evil. You see. I think very beneficial to network. Very beneficial.
Okay, what's up?
Dr. Evil, very wise man.
Okay.
Remove current motor mouth and reinstate original guest being Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil remind me of my great grandfather wrote very, very important document in 1840.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish to voice opinion to make Dr. Evil permanent.
You want Dr. Evil to be permanent?
Absolutely. Very beneficial to network. Very wise man.
I don't think the show will last long if he's permanent. What's going on, Jimmy?
I couldn't resist, man.
Well, it's a
At
doofy.
first, I was going to call in and say, Joe, I got some really bad news for you, man. You know, I've been thinking, and I really like that guy. I think you ought to just keep him.
I don't think I can do him very long. It's one of the reasons that he doesn't do well is I lose interest in him quickly.
I was wondering why you stopped.
Mostly because of that. I do lose interest in that character. I'm sorry.
Well, you do it well. It brings entertainment. It's a lot of fun.
I got a lot more interest in Charlie giving Aaron a hard time. It's like watching the retarded idiot pull the wings off a fly in the classroom.
Oh man. Yep. All right. I just thought I'd call you. You were wanting phone calls earlier because you were running out. So I thought I would just
No, you're all
call
right,
in
brother.
and rattle your cage a little.
It's a good day for everybody to just be nonchalant, man. I cannot do the serious every day in and day out. I can't do it. I need something to recharge the jets from time to time, even for me on my end. So,
Well, even the most serious teacher that I attended the government school under took a day every now and then for us to just cut up in class.
yes. Well, we're cutting up.
All right.
All right, man.
Take care, buddy.
Bye. Yeah, I'm sorry. I do lose interest in Dr. Evil quickly. John Ford says, the unmoved mover argument for God is not proof. First of all, Mr. Ford, that is not the argument we made that day in class. I gave you a different argument. The unmoved mover is an inductive argument. The argument I gave is deductive. Hard, solid, tight argument that I've never had anybody break. And I went to school with some very good philosophers. And whenever I made that argument, they always just looked at me, and they were all atheists. They just looked at me and their eyes crossed and they were like, ugh. They tried. They never wanted to give in to it, but they were never able to defeat it. But you say that the unmoved mover is just an argument that says the universe had a beginning, and since the universe can't come or create itself, you assume there must be a creator and you put it in your God. Okay. So if we can deduct that the universe had to have a beginning, and when we say beginning, we mean beginning of everything. Time, space, every energy. There's a vast void of energy sheet. No, there's nothing. Nothing. This is part of the problem is a concept that nobody can, very few people can actually conceive of in their head. We're not even talking about the void of space. The void of space is something. We're talking, that's not even there. Not only does the universe not exist, there's no place to put it. That doesn't even exist. So it comes into a being. Boom. There's no way to have a cause. There's no way to have an effect to that cause. There's no way for it to come from. It's just created out of nothing. And it happens to be balanced on a razor's edge of precision to allow life on this planet alone at this point in time. And you think that that's not proof of intelligent design? Mr. Ford, I would suggest you don't understand the concepts in play. Not properly, not thoroughly. That's all.
If you were to hear diddy diddy dot 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 diddy diddy dee dot dot diddy diddy dee dot dot coming out of space, you'd go, oh, look, somebody's sending me a message. Could be nothing more than the radio wave from a pulsar, but that's not what your first assumption is going to be, because you recognize pattern. You say, oh, well, pattern, that's just the way humans grow up. We evolved that way to recognize patterns. That doesn't mean intelligence. Except everywhere in the universe where we see patterns like that, complex patterns, we have found that there's intelligence behind it of some sort. So when we see that woven throughout the fabric of the universe, we say, accident. Yeah, that defies reason. So you don't think it's proof of the Bible God? Like I said, Mr. Ford, go back through the archives, find that show. It's in the description. You'll find it. It's not hard. We did a good job that day. I'm not going to repeat it today. I'm going back to climate change. So you don't know what the temperature of the Earth is supposed to be. So how do we know what we're supposed to cool it or warm it to? And how do you know that global warming is actually detrimental to the Earth? Because there's been a lot of scientists telling you if the globe were to warm another 1 or 2 degrees, it would actually be beneficial to mankind. Contrary to what you might believe, plants don't mind a little bit hotter environment. Greenhouses, da-da-da-da. It might cause drought in some places, but not in others. If we'd quit clearing the land that's meant to keep the moisture close to the ground, that's creating the environment that everything lives in. That's now that you can get me on that one. The clear cutting we're doing in the Amazon, yeah, that's a big boo-boo. But nobody ever tells you about how that's being compensated for in other parts of the planet, do they? There are more trees in the United States now than there were when it was quote unquote discovered by Christopher Columbus. No, that's a lie, Joe. No, it isn't. Look it up. We use trees as a crop now. So when there's something that'll make you money, you're going to have more of it because you protect it. Plus, we put out the forest fires that used to burn down whole states in the past, which created great big old globs of CO2 into the atmosphere that somehow or another is never factored into our climate change equations. We got to get rid of cows because they fart. That's causing the climate to change. And we never factor into the bison that used to be running around this place that are just huge cows that fart 2 or 3 or 4 times as much as your cow. And they're never factored in. So how come they weren't causing climate change before man even existed, when the bisons were running around with the Native Americans? All the equations that we think we understand, because we exclude the variables we don't like, and then we include in variables that may not necessarily apply, and we think we've discovered something. The hubris of this species is astounding. Our arrogance is beyond control. And we think we're intelligent. Psst, monkeys. Exactly, Miss Larson. We assume. And we know how to spell that. So now I have another question for you. What happens to the climate if I change the jet stream in this world, the pattern? What if instead of, traveling mostly around the world from west to east, high up in the longitudes, what if all of a sudden it moves and it starts going diagonally across the world, like from Canada down to Florida, and then around the world that way? Alaska to Florida. What happens if the jet stream moves that way? What does that do to climate? Because that's what's happening. Nobody's told you this? Don't you keep up with these things? Well, it's not on the news. Yes, it is, if you know where to go. Why is the jet stream moving? Because the poles are swapping. What? Yeah. Didn't you know that? The North Pole is moving. So is the South. And it's accelerating. I think it's up to like 30-something miles a year now. Well, that's only a year. And accelerating. What happens when the poles move? Well, I don't know. Nobody's told me about that. One thing it does is it changes the magnetic field around the Earth, which is going to change how much of the sun's radiation gets through to the atmosphere, which is then going to change the amount of ozone and a whole bunch of other things in the world. And that's not caused by man. And we got nothing we can do to change it. So as different amounts of different types of radiation get through the magnetic fields around the Earth, you're going to start seeing the northern lights move, and they have been. And magnetic north is not going to be north anymore, and things are not going to navigate the way they used to. And when you start moving the magnetic fields around the Earth, you're going to alter the radiation belt around the Earth, and you're going to alter the jet stream, which is going to alter the climate patterns around the Earth. Certain places are going to get wetter, certain places are going to get drier, certain places are going to get hotter, certain places are going to get colder. And as that happens, you will alter the Pacific and the Atlantic currents, the Gulf Stream and everything else, which alters the flow of water around the Earth, which is a giant radiator on this planet. So if the water starts changing the way it moves and certain other places don't get as much cool air from the movement of the water, it heats up. And you say, look, man did that. No, dumbass. Whoops, excuse me. You didn't do your science correctly. And you're telling the whole world that we got to do X, Y, Z based on your junky science. Look what happened the last time we did that. 200 million people are going to die if we don't lock down the world. Uh-huh. How'd your model turn out? Oh, oopsie. Well, and I'm supposed to just jump after you and just keep on going because you have the science behind you. I'm sorry, I'm not following your false god. Thank you very much. That's science. This is why we did the show on science. Quit making it out to be an infallible god. It is not. Just like there's certain people in the world. Reason. All right, Spock. Why does Spock in the movie Star Trek, in this Star Trek series, in that world, why does he have to be half human? Because from time to time, it's necessary for him to break with his logic. Otherwise, it would show how absurd the idea that logic is perfect actually is. Spock is probably just the most human character on the film. He's the highest order of human because he does use his reason, but when it comes right down to it, when he needs it, he also pulls out the old gut and he feels his way through it as well. Logic is not a be-all, end-all for us, folks. A lot of people treat it that way. It's just like science. Science is just a subset of logic, of applied logic. They're not infallible. They're tools, just like any tool. A hammer sitting on a shelf, it's just potential. I know people I could give that hammer to, and all it's going to be good for is killing somebody or bashing their thumb. I know people I could give that hammer to, and they can build a house with it. Wisdom. How you use that tool. That's the key. But wisdom, as opposed to just raw intelligence, because they are not the same thing. The stupid farmer who's never been past third grade that you think of as just a, hey, I think you're talking about my family. No, Charlie, it's okay. Let me get all the way through this. All right, but I'm watching you, Joe. The guy you called the stupid farmer because he never got past the third grade. Can you make his plants grow? Huh? Can you raise the animals he raises every year when it rains and doesn't rain? Uh-huh. Yeah, you're not as bright as you thought you were, are you? He knows how to do that. Well, he may not be as intelligent as you are, but he's got something you don't. Wisdom. Where'd he get that wisdom? He lives in the world. I mean, in the world. He depends on the environment. He depends on Mother Nature. He knows that Mother Nature is not a god. It's not alive. It's not a being. He knows there's a God because he sees God's hand at work every day in his life. So that farmer, he fears that creator. And there's the start of where he gets his wisdom. Now, the scientist, he lives in an artificial environment, or she, something, the steel world and a concrete world that they made. And everything there, if it goes right or wrong, it's based on other humans. God, never. His hand is never entered into the equation because I live in an artificial world made by humans. So if things don't go right, must have been a human's fault. If things are going great, must be a human's doing. And they never learn humility, which means they never learn wisdom. So when they come up with this theory that somebody wrote up and says, hey, man, if we do this CERN collider, we put more energy into it than we ever have before. Look, cool, man. We can create this new superparticle that doesn't exist in nature. Why would you want to do that? Because we can. Guy comes up and says, yeah, but the math also suggests you might create a miniature black hole. Yeah, but it won't be big enough to take up the world. It's just going to be a miniature black hole. Do you understand the definition of black hole? What do you mean? Sucks in everything, right? Yeah. Grows as it sucks it in, right? Well, yeah. How long before it swallows the Earth and then the whole solar system? Oh, well, that'll never happen. How do you know? Uh-huh. Hubris. Arrogance. Farmer goes, I'm not going to try it. Why not? Wisdom says it's better for me not to do that. Because I don't know what's going to happen and because I really don't need to create that super particle. It's not going to do anything for anybody. It's not going to help me make anything. It's not going to help me feed anybody. It's not going to help me learn anything that makes my animals or my plants grow better. So he's not going to go there. Wisdom. Let's see what we got in the classroom. Scientist says it's not going to rain. Perfectly clear day. That the farmer stepped outside and feels the breeze and says it's going to storm. I'm trusting the farmer. Amen to that, John. Why? Because he knows how to read Mother Nature. The scientist just knows how to read the data that was given to him from the instruments. That's it. And then he bases it on what's happened in the past. Probabilities. There might be something going on that wasn't in his data that the farmer caught on. Felt the breeze. It was something in the wind. That's not measured by your instruments. So John's right. I agree with him. So we circle back to evolution. So much we don't know, and yet we act as though it's a certainty. Where did life come from? You don't know. So everything from that point is sheer speculation. Just rampant theory. You got nothing to base anything on from that point forward. Well, Joe, I got today. Uh-huh. Have you ever seen a jackalope emerge? No, you have not. Science has no record of the jackalope emerging from a rabbit or an antelope. So you can't say that today gives me an image of the past. Well, Joe, I got fossil records. Yes. And that doesn't show the emergence of a jackalope. Just shows the remains of a specific individual creature. You don't even know for sure the skeletons go together the way we see them. Not in every case. Now, I don't say that they're wrong, but if you ever been to a museum where they've got bones just hanging off of the edges of an animal, saying, well, they kind of think I think they went there, but they're not connected to anything. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go pay attention to some more pictures. Because there's a lot of our skeletons in our natural history museums where they've got bones with a skeleton animal that aren't attached to anything. They're just hanging in space. How do you even know it went to that creature? Well, it was found with it. Yeah. Maybe two creatures died together. Some animals came along and ate one of them or part of one of them, so you only have a partial carcass. You weren't there. So looking at what you have now and assuming you understand what was is just that. An ass you me. Assume. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't do extrapolations from today backwards. I'm saying we should do it with a lot more humility and care and caution than we do. Our society puts its trust in the wrong people. We trust the quote unquote experts. Nobody trusts the philosopher anymore. Well, Joe, you're just because you're... Yeah, I'm also a sociologist, aren't I? and just shy of being able to take my exam for an engineer. So which one do you want me to talk about or talk as? Want me to talk as an engineer? You want me to talk as a scientist who studies society? You want me to talk as a philosopher? If I wanted to clep it, I guarantee you I'd test out at PhD level on history because that's what I read. So do you want me to talk to you as a historian? I study psychiatry, human nature. I study it very carefully. My aptitude tests in those areas are off the charts. Just because I have not paid somebody a bunch of money to put letters after my name doesn't mean that I don't have valuable skills in those areas. You want me to talk to you as a psychiatrist? Which way you want me to talk to you? Hmm? But we do away with the philosopher, the person who loves knowledge, studies how to apply it properly. The one that would say, whoa, 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 that's not such a good idea. Maybe we shouldn't go running down that road today. We ignore him. Why? Forward! We've got to progress. Why? Because we got this stupid notion that if we're not progressing, we're dying. Show me that. Where's that in history? Now, I'm not saying I don't agree with it, because in some ways it's true. Other ways it's not. Say, well, why would we keep traditions, Joe? If we're not advancing past those traditions, society's dying. Is it? How did those traditions come to be? What are they? Oh, it's just the teachings of man. Just because Grandpa did it that way doesn't mean I have to. What if Grandpa's right? What if Grandpa learned it through a school of hard knocks and he acquired that from great-grandpa and great-grandpa got it from great-great-grandpa? At one point, it becomes the collective knowledge of humanity. So let me explain to you. Tradition says, don't put your hand in an open flame, you'll get burned. Do you run around sticking your hand in the fire? Why not? Did you have to do it the first time to find out? Unfortunately, some of you out there are that dense. Hey, I thought you said you weren't going to talk about my family. Dude, it ain't my problem that you're related to the Ledbetters, okay? Yeah, that's a good point. Excuse Charlie, he's still a little irritable with Dr. Evil being here this morning. So some of you do have to stick your hand in the fire, but I don't need that. I can read and say, oh, okay, I got it. It's been around for a long time. I don't need to go repeat that mistake I learned from somebody else's. That's a tradition, right? Well, no, Joe, that's just, that is a tradition. That's a teaching handed down from generation to generation. That's the definition of a tradition. You didn't think of it that way, did you? So tradition's Christmas. That's a tradition. Created by man and handed down by man in hundreds of years now. So why do we have to evolve? Why do we have to do away with this one to the other? Well, the new generation just does things different. No, the new generation gets bored. I don't want to listen to old dead white men. I know better. No, you don't. No, you don't. You think you know better, but you don't. Well, I'm smarter, I'm more involved. Then how come you don't understand the English that the Founding Fathers use? When I do this on Founding Fathers Friday and I read their language, all of the words that you hear are still in your dictionary today, and they're all in active use. But you got to be you got to be up around the college level to hear them now. You got to be in academia. You got to be around people who have been educated. That doesn't mean that they're intelligent or that they got any wisdom. It just means they've been exposed to more things, more knowledge, more learning. But they know how to use that language. They know how to translate it, especially if they know how to read the Founding Fathers and bow to what the founders meant rather than try to rewrite what other people said, try to retroactively control their will. So if you're not a control freak and you read the founders, you say, okay, I see what you're saying there, John. I see what you're saying, Thomas. I get it, Sam. Yeah. Ben? Yeah. Got it. You're using words that we don't normally use today. Well, that's because we're smarter today. No, 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 no. You're dumber. You've convinced yourself you're smarter, but you're dumber, or your language would be even more sophisticated than theirs. Why isn't it? Because things decay, including societies. All things decay. Entropy. The tendency in this universe is to go from higher order to lower order, from order to chaos, which goes against the entire idea of evolution. Hmm. No, you don't what, T-Rex? Just saw your comment. I'm not sure I'm following the conversation. My bad. I'll stick my bay. It was an A-B conversation. I'll see my way back out of that one. I was just reading the notes in the classroom, folks. This is the type of stuff I've been talking to you about. This is just philosopher Joe showing up and rambling. This is the type of things that go through my head when I sit there try to figure out the world. It, Climate change. You know what it's being used for? It's being used to reorganize and restructure the whole world. They've screwed up the system they've been using. They can't let you know that, so that they're going to have to create another one. Climate change is the means by which they redistribute everything. T-Rex says, okay, he doesn't look like a giant chicken beaver. I've seen you, T-Rex. You are correct. You don't. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, on the other hand, yummy, brother. If we were to wrap you in white, you could star in our next Ghostbusters movie. Sorry, it's not meant to be insulting. It's just, you're fluffy that way. Of course, I'm not far from it either myself, so. Climate change. They're using it to change the market, and especially in the commodities market. They're using it to redistribute wealth around the world. I mean, basically, it's a vehicle for communism. And right now, it's being used to force electrical vehicles on you. Let's talk about them for a minute. We're going to come back to this in detail someday. But you're being told that electrical vehicles are the answer to the future. No, they're not. They're going to create more problems. The only place that an electrical vehicle is actually efficient is in a city, a dense city. By coincidence, that is exactly what the UN has planned for all of us. Unless you're rich and part of the elite ruling class, you're going to be forced, not by the point of a gun, to go live in a city. I live in the country. What they're going to do to me, well, you're messing up the environment, Joe, and we're going to let you live there, but your property taxes are going to now be $2 million a year. Joe doesn't make $2 million a year. Well, then you're going to have to move. You're forcing me. No, we're not. You can stay if you pay the taxes. You're forcing me to move, folks. Okay? That's like urinating on somebody's head and saying, oh, no, it's raining. No, it's not. You're urinating on my head. You can call it whatever you want. It's nudge. So they're going to nudge all of us into the cities. Why? It's easier to control your monkeys if you put them all in the same cage. It's harder to control your monkeys if they're out there living in nature, realizing that you are not God, that there is a creator. Whoopsie. You ever notice how atheism thrives in a city, but not in the country? You ever stop to wonder if there's a correlation there? So EVs, electric vehicles, depending on your environment, hotter environment, they work a little better until it gets too hot. Colder environment, they don't work as well. The more you charge them all the way up, the less life their battery has. They'll tell you, well, the battery's good for 150,000 miles. Yes, but what they don't tell you is when you get halfway through the life, instead of having 200 miles on a charge, now you have 180. So now get 55 to 60% through the life. Now you get 120 miles out of that charge. So, well, it still takes you 8 to 12 hours to fully recharge that battery. So when you've got 70% of that 150,000 miles, now you only get 80 miles out of that battery. And it's still taking you 12 hours to recharge that battery. And when you get down to the last, 20,000 miles left in the battery, you're getting 10, 15, 20 miles a day out of that thing before you got to recharge it. No, Joe, that's not the way. Yes, it is. couple classes away from mechanical engineering degree. Remember, folks? I know the physics behind this. I know how the battery. Well, these are different type of batteries. It does not matter. It's EMAG, electromagnetic theory. All batteries behave this way to some extent or another. All. So that car that's going to give you 150,000 miles, you're not going to want it after it's half the lifetime, because that battery is going to become a problem. So where you think it's cheap, because at first it only cost you $1 to, just round numbers, $1 to give you a full charge, and you go 200 miles. When you're done, you're going to be paying $1 to go 20 miles. Now do the ratios. So 200 miles for $1, $1 for 20 miles. Eventually it becomes 10 times more expensive to charge that thing for the miles you get out of it. Now, where's the electricity coming from to charge it? I'm not going to let you use coal. I'm not going to let you use natural gas. I'm not going to let you use any type of natural fossil fuel. And you're not going to allow you to use nuclear. So what are you going to? Oh, we're going to use windmills. No, you're not. There's not enough space for you to put all those windmills. Besides, you'd drive the population insane if you did that. Have you ever been around a windmill farm? You ever heard those things? You know they are around miles before you get to them. A really deep sound miles away. You can't even see them, but you can hear them. Harmonic frequencies. They add up on top of each other. So when all of those windmills, you got 100 of them sitting there, when all of them suddenly come into balance with each other, they magnify the sound they all make that many-fold. That sound will drive people nuts. So we're going to use solar panels, Joe. No, you're not. What do you mean I'm not? There's not enough of the rare earth metals on the planet to make enough solar panels just to power the United States, let alone the rest of the world. Incidentally, if you've listened, Elon Musk told you there's not enough lithium on the planet to make enough batteries to power the United States. What are we doing for the rest of the world? Are they going to go eat cake? So what's the answer? The answer is simple. EVs in a town, along with hydrogen fuel cells. Well, Joe, it's too expensive. No, it's not. I know people tell me it takes more energy to make the hydrogen than it. No, you haven't read up on that. Read closer. What you are reading is the propaganda coming from the EV vehicle people. They don't want you using hydrogen fuel cells. If it was that bad, we wouldn't have had a point where GM was about ready to launch a hydrogen fleet of vehicles. Remember Glenn Beck talking about this and how great they worked? GM wouldn't have sunk all that money in there if it was not a viable technology. So we use hydrogen-celled vehicles. We use electric vehicles with nuclear power plants, because that is safer than what they tell you. They want you to think it's going to kill everybody in the world. We've had 2 great meltdowns, Fukushima and Chernobyl. Is the world dead? No. Fear controls you. So we're going to use hydrogen fuel cells, and we're going to use EVs, and we're going to use liquid propane or liquid natural gas vehicles for delivery vehicles. All of this in and around cities. And then we will use gasoline for people who are outside of the city, preferably diesel, biodiesel. So all of these byproducts we're making from our food, for the old grease and all this other stuff, that can be used to make biodiesel. Relatively cheap, efficient, green, as they call it. And if you make the right diesel vehicles, they will get excellent gas mileage. A little diesel Volkswagen Rabbit for just commuting. What, 30, 40, 50 miles to the gallon for that little thing? No, it won't do 200 miles an hour. It's not a sports car. But notice what I just described for you. I just described a multi-tiered, multi-layered solution to the problem. The all-electric vehicle is not a solution to the problem. Excuse me. It is a problem creator. And the whole point is, I don't want you to have energy, because cheap, abundant energy makes you self-sufficient. And the goal is to control you. Once you understand the goal, everything they do makes more sense. Because if the goal was to solve pollution problems, I just told you how to fix that. You won't go that way. Why? Because you believe the crap coming out of the idiot tube. Why? Because you don't think. Why? Well, for the most part, you were taught not to think in school. And that's been reinforced every minute of your life ever since you got out of school. TV, news, radio, the music on the radio, your movies, even your video games. You're a conditioned monkey, which is exactly intentionally why Dr. Evil rather called everybody monkeys today. That was intentional. Well, I'm lucky I'm talking about this on Conspiracy Theory Thursday, right? Because I can't prove any of this, right? Want to bet? Want to bet? I know where to go find it. Do you? Let me ask you a question. If you've been with me, this is the 83rd show today. If you've been with me through most of them, let's say you knew about me before I started this show and you didn't think I was all, I'm a little crackpot. Joe's got a lot of wild ideas. When was the last time I told you something that I knew where to find it and I didn't bring the receipts? Huh? 83 shows. When have I ever done a focused show, a teaching show, where I didn't bring the references and showed you where to find them so you could go verify it? I've never done that to you, and I'm never going to. So when we do the show on batteries, I'll show you the math. EVs. When I do the show on climate change, I'll show you the math. One of these days, we'll do evolution. I'll show you the problems. Most scientists who are becoming believers in the Bible are coming out of your microbiology labs right now, because they realize now modern discoveries in the cell in biology cannot have happened by evolution. And that's where your greatest conversion of scientists is starting. You know where the second one is? Astrophysics. Because they realize the universe could not exist the way it is by accident. Go look up a man named Hugh Ross. H-U-G-H Ross, R-O-S-S, PhD. I think he's still at the University of Ontario, California. He does some great apologetics books. Look him up on Amazon, excuse me. Buy a couple. Read them. He'll take you through the math. He even does the math in the book for you. T-Rex, you have a group I need to get to. Is this going to be something that I'm going to like, or is this going to be something that they're going to like? Or are we going to be kumbaya together? Solar also loses efficiency over time. Yes, it does. Quite drastically. Yes. All these solar panels that people are selling you, by the time you've paid them off, those solar panels are not making enough electricity, usually, to replace the money you spent. In other words, they never pay for themselves. You doubt they would like me. Then I'll like them, Troy T-Rex. Then I'll like them. Get to call up and play with the retarded. Retarded does not mean stupid. It just means slow. Retarded. You're behind the time. You're behind the normal development schedule. In other words, your CPO doesn't run as fast. You can still catch up rather, if you keep going. So it's not an insult. It just means that they've either quit running or they run real slow. Kind of like me. I was a tanker, folks. They built us, big, strong, carry lots of heavy things. We don't run fast. So if a tanker's running, keep up. Because whatever it was, we couldn't kill with a tank. You need to keep up. It's even worse than EOD. Because normally with an explosive, we just close the hatch and ride it out. So if a tanker's running, first of all, we don't like to walk, let alone run. So if we don't have the tank with us anymore, something really bad's already happened. So yeah, you need to keep up. Hopefully I've salvaged a little bit of the day for y'all. We're going to be doing Founders Friday tomorrow and a little bit more logic if we get to it. I'm going to introduce you to some of the men our founding fathers and women read, studied, that you probably didn't realize were part of the founding fathers' guidance or wisdom bank, wealth of knowledge. Cicero is going to be right up Jimmy's alley, man. We're going to be all over Cicero. But Rousseau, Montesquieu, John Locke, some of these folks, got to read through some of their quotes. We'll get into logic. We might wrap up with fallacies for now. And then in the coming weeks, we might have to talk about making better arguments. Some of you have been talking to me, telling me and sharing with me that just the little bit of work I've done helping you recognize fallacies has greatly improved your ability to understand and argue and reason through things in your daily lives. Some of you have told me it's actually allowed you to hold your ground toe to toe with PhDs. It was easy, wasn't it, T-Rex? If I'm doing good, blessing for me. If not, email me, please, and tell me what I got to do better. Joe@theroadtoconcord.com. I read them. I listen. I respond as best I can. Not perfect. I know a lot of my detractors think I know it all. How many times do I got to tell you I know I don't? And I even know a lot of the areas where I need to study more. John Quest, hold on now. I have a PhD. Worked very hard for my post-hole digging degree. I'll see myself out the window. I got a post-hole digging degree too, John. I've learned to keep the bolt cutters handy too for when you hit the roots. Bolt cutters and sawzalls. They'll fit in the hole. Anyhow, hey, tomorrow will be the last day of the week. I'm going to try and get a hold of the boss, Steve. Got to have a conversation with him. I'm being pulled in more than one direction, and I don't know what to do with it. It's a God thing right now, and if you're not a believer in there, then this is not going to be something I can explain to you. But changes are coming that I don't know how to adapt to, and I need his guidance, for the network, the way it will affect my show versus his. So that might affect what I hope to do with our show here in the near future, but we'll work that out. I'll get a hold of the boss hopefully over the weekend. We'll see if he's not too busy. Anyhow, let's do this. We're going to cut out just a touch early today. Dr. Evil was here, right? So we'll leave with a special note from his buddies. I love each and every one of you. Until tomorrow, I want you all to stay safe. Take care. Thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. I'll be back to my normal boring self. I'll have something boring to do.
Time to get the next state-sanctioned indoctrination program ready to broadcast to the subjects. Oh no! What has happened? They've been watching The Road to Concord with Joe Bakanovic on the Freedom Networks. This is not an approved public tax-funded control talk show, and we cannot stand for it! Misinformation such as this has been scientifically proven to cause free thinking, which leads to the undesirable pursuit of liberty. Any subjects listening to The Road to Concord with Joe Bakanovic on the Freedom Networks, Monday through Friday, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, also streaming live on Facebook and Twitch, or can simply download the podcast later on iHeart, Podbeam, or Spotify by getting the subjects to follow, hitting the like button, and leaving 5-star reviews, causing our AIs to push this mind-liberating misinformation instead of the public tax-funded mind control programs. Oh, what a diabolical plan to use our own devices against us, sowing the seeds of rebellion by liberating the subjects with the truth. Must find a way to cancel The Road to Concord with Joe Bakanovic on the Freedom Networks if it's the last thing we do.